Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I am here for a weekend reading. We're going to pull some cards to see what the universe has for us. And speaking of that, I already opened sacred space. We have giving birth. I am birthing forth a new and dynamic energy into the world. And this reminds me of what I just went through in the past few days. I just went through another ego death. If you guys are not aware of what an ego death is, it's basically when you have like a day or two of like intense anxiety, frustration, anger. Your voice inside of your head gets super, super loud, and it is so mean. It is telling you that everything's going to fall apart. It's telling you that you're so stupid and every decision you've made in your past was bonkers and you're just a moron, and it's just beating you up. And it gets louder and louder and louder. And it gets to the point where you literally have to like sleep. You have to take medicine. You have to do something to quiet that noise, and it's visceral. You'll feel it in your body. Like my stomach was churning all day yesterday. I literally had to just go lay in the grass at a park and just be like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm feeling. And it was just so intense. And then I woke up today and it was gone. And I'm like, okay, it must have been an ego death. And I've gone through this many times in my life. And in the past, I didn't know what it was. I thought I was just crazy. And now I'm realizing, okay, we're spiritual beings and we have to fight off that voice that is telling us those things because it is not us. I made an Instagram post about this, or in my stories, about how it's this, the ego is this inner child inside of you that is so fearful, and it wants to protect us. It wants to keep us safe. And then it also wants to judge, compare, and criticize. And it brings all of these emotions up to the surface. And we as spiritual beings, we have to see it and be like, no, I have faith that my life is always working out for me. I'm exactly where I need to be. I know this because in the past, everything has always worked out for me. I might have done things that didn't make sense, but they also led me to right here, right now. And it's okay. And everything's going to be okay. So where I'm at right now is safe. And that voice will creep in and tell you that it's not safe and you need to move and you need to do this and you need to leave this. And it's just like, whew, take a breather, let that voice have a little tantrum. If you can separate yourself from it and see, okay, it's freaking out right now. It's telling you, and maybe you're on my channel because you love to manifest. Maybe that ego was saying, why isn't my manifestation coming? This is ridiculous. I'm so sick of this. I'm done with the law of attraction stuff. I'm done with like believing in the universe. I hate the universe. When you're in that energy, that is your ego. And you separate from it and you witness yourself having the thoughts. You might not be able to quiet them because they are just loud. Like all day yesterday, I even did like 2 readings. And I texted my one client because I was like, listen, like I'm having a weird day. Like, I don't know if I can do our session because I can't even hold space for myself right now. And he was like, he was so cool. He was like, let's just do it. We'll help each other out. We'll pull each other back in. As soon as I got on the call, my stomach stopped. Everything was good. And it was like, he brought me back into alignment. As soon as I got off the call, it came back again. So it's this, you can't control it. It's like a purge. You just have to, it's almost like a stomach bug, right? Your body has to purge all the poison that's in your body. And the same thing happens with the ego. It goes through a purging. You have to release all of those old beliefs that you have about yourself. You are not terrible. Every decision you made in the past was meant to be. Your soul chose it for a reason. You learned lessons along the way that made you who you are now. So we have to allow the purge. Literally, it feels like a purge in your body. And I want to let you know that if you've gone through that this week, you are not alone. It is normal. You are not crazy. That little voice will tell you that you're crazy. You will feel like your world is ending because your body viscerally feels like something bad's going to happen. And just allow it as you're experiencing it, say, okay, my body is feeling so much anxiousness right now. I'm just going to allow it to be here. I'm going to go home. I'm going to rest, and I'm just going to be okay with it. Okay. And it's like a rebirth. You're going through this rebirth. You're purging the old version of you. When you're on a spiritual journey and when you're learning about this stuff and you're here doing the work, it's painful. It's not easy. That's why there's always those memes on social media about the spiritual journey, like you're on a roller coaster and everybody else is cheering and you're like, oh my God, like nobody told me the spiritual path was going to be like this. It's like a kid freaking out on the roller coaster. All right, let's do some tarot. We're going to do some tarot cards. I don't normally use this deck. It's called the Rider-Waite Tarot. Let's see what comes through. What do we need? Wow, King of Swords, the truth. This king is coming forth with the truth. Maybe through this ego death, you are learning what the truth is. Swords represent your mind space. It represents what is, what's most important to you in your life. It's like cutting through all the bullshit. That's the best way to put it. So maybe somebody's going to be coming to you with some truth, or maybe you're understanding the truth about who you are and what you came here to do and who you came here to be. So it's like a rebirth, and you're understanding, you're seeing clearly now. That's the message. You're seeing clearly. You have clarity about your life. And if it's a king, it usually represents a man. So maybe there's a man in your life who's having clarity about his life. Okay, we're going to use the Wild Offering Oracle by Tosha Silver. Holy freaking shit. Sorry, guys. We've got 10 cards on the floor. We're going to do this again. Thank you. Trust. When love is invited to take over, meaning when the universe is invited to take over, or God, the right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. So maybe you're having clarity about a decision you need to make in your life, and the universe is telling you to trust the timing. If you know what you need to do, but it just doesn't feel quite right and quite ready yet, you can wait for the day that you wake up and you will have that clarity. You'll just have this knowing of, yep, I can no longer sit in this discomfort. I have to move. I have to change my life. And it's going through a complete rebirth. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. My hair is like so bonkers today. But on a spiritual path, there's something called the tower moment. And the tower moment is, maybe I'll look for it in the tarot. It's like a kind of a scary card to get, but it's basically when like somebody in their life is going through a complete overhaul. I like to say overhaul instead of breakdown. So sometimes people go through, maybe they lose a couple family members, maybe they lose their job, maybe they get a divorce. It's just like this, like the universe has to break down your old life in order to rebuild your new life. And when we have giving birth, here. So this is new life. And you're being called to trust the breakdown. So here's the tower card. Don't be freaked out. But it's like lightning strikes the tower and it's like, oh shit, we got to jump ship and get out of there. It's on fire and people are jumping out. They're like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like your life feeling like it's crumbling. I went through my tower moment in the fall when I lost my dad in October. And then I had to quit my job. The anxiety and the urge to, the knowing that I wasn't supposed to be there anymore. My body was viscerally telling me, it was just a knowing. And it was scary because, I didn't take a leap into another full-time job. I had to kind of build my own income doing this. And last month was awesome because I totally matched my teaching salary last month. So I'm living a completely different life. I've rebuilt my life. but it was after a tower moment. It was after I had complete destruction. Losing my dad was one of the toughest things I've ever had to go through. Just because my whole life, I always said, like, he was my best friend. Like, if I ever lose my dad, I wouldn't survive it. And I even lost my daughter, but my dad was still there with me when I lost her. So I had him, I had his hugs, I had his garage talks. I had his text messages to support me. So when he passed, like, holy cow, right? That was a complete tower moment for me. Everything was breaking down. And then it was like, oh, I don't have a job that I love. Like, I can't keep going there. That was another completely like, oh my gosh, I have to quit. Like, I don't want to do this. I was torn because my body physically couldn't do it. It's like everything in me was screaming no. And I had to leap, and I took a leap, and it was just a tower. So I am proof that you can go through tower moments. You can go through breakdown in your life, and there's something really wonderful on the other side. I gained so much strength in the last 4 to 5 months that I never knew I had. I would wake up each day not knowing what I was supposed to be doing, but I trusted my intuition, and I let it lead me to create things, to go places, to be more social. I wasn't very social for the last like 10 years after my loss. Now I find myself going on lunch dates with clients and stuff. I used to always hide in my cave and just like want to be alone all the time. So my personality and my being has completely changed. I'm giving talks now at the place that I work, where I do my Reiki. I am on YouTube. I'm doing everything so different. So the tower moment in your life could be happening right now. You might be scared. You might be feeling like everything's falling apart, but look in my eyes and I can tell you, hopefully there's no glare, you are safe and you are protected. Your soul has a plan. It's part of the spiritual journey. We have to go through breakdown to truly unfold and remember who we came here to be. Because the old life no longer serves you, and your body will tell you. My body was telling me, and I had to listen. And I trusted in the universe, and I'm so grateful that I had that faith to do it, where a lot of people would stay and still maybe get, they just would not be well. Let's just put it that way. And, the safety of having a full-time job and, the benefits and the money, that's definitely like security, right? Like, it feels good. But on the other hand of it, when you're literally in pain every day and having physical ailments, that's your body saying it's not right. And there is another option out there. So trust that there are other options. Okay. Sorry, that was a long spiel, but I wanted to share the tower moment because I feel like there's a lot of people going through it right now, and you will feel completely ungrounded. You'll feel like it's like you're falling from the sky and there's nothing to hold on to. And you're meant to experience that because that's where you learn your faith. And if you are experiencing that right now, please email me and book a session, and I can help you. I can help ground you. I will grab your ankles and I will plant them on the ground for you. And I will say, you are safe. There is a million opportunities that are about to walk into your life, but you just had to let go of this one thing to open up space for more to come in. So deep breath. You are safe, and it's okay to let go. It's okay to jump. Okay. All right. I'm being guided to use my Work Your Light deck. I forget who this is by. And I don't even have the book here. It's okay. I forget who the author is. I'm loving this reading, by the way. Thank you, universe. These messages are so important for people going through loss, breakups, any kind of loss, losing people, losing jobs, losing money, losing cars, whatever it is, relationships, friendships, the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. How perfect. I got my roses here. So it's happening for you. The breakdown is here to rebuild you. Your life is about to be brand freaking spanking new, and you're going to feel so much better in a month or two. You just have to go through this phase of discomfort, just like I had to go through my phase of discomfort too, and with my tower moment. You're not alone. This is where you learn your faith. You are ever unfolding. You're constantly peeling back layers of who you came here to be. And we're not always in control. The universe kind of forces us into these tower moments, and it causes breakdown in our lives. And when you kind of know a tower moment is coming is when you just start to see things breaking down in your life. You start to feel that energy. Oh, yeah, your video this morning is speaking to my soul. I love that. Love getting feedback on these videos. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. This is what you're headed towards. You are headed towards the most joy-filled, abundance-filled, happy marriage, kids, pets, the home, everything. This is complete fulfillment. The love and passion that you've always wanted in your life, it's finally arriving. And it's because you are allowing this to happen. You're saying, yep, what I'm in right now doesn't feel good, and I want this. So when we manifest, this is kind of like our manifestations coming true, this card. It's like everything's coming true, all of your desires. So when you want your desires to come true, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to let go. Like I had to be willing, I didn't have a choice with my dad, but I had to be willing to let go of my job, to let go of my dad, to let go of my old way of thinking, my old way of living. I literally live so differently now. Like it blows my mind. And believe me, like I'm in debt and I have my things that I had to sacrifice in order to do this lifestyle, right? But I'm not always going to be that way. Things will replenish. It just takes time. But in order to do what my soul was calling me to do, we have to take risks. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, then everyone and nobody would be stuck in jobs they don't like. There are risks that you have to take. For me, the risk was financially. Like I knew that, all right, Michelle, you're going to go into debt doing this, but I have faith and I trust myself that I can make this work. And I can work with the universe to co-create a life for myself that I really love. I was so depressed and so anxiety filled for the last 10 years after my daughter passed. I just couldn't find my place. And even my sister said it the other day. She was like, when I saw you posted on Instagram that you were working at this new center doing Reiki, she goes, I felt such relief. Like I even know my own family members, they worry about me. They're like, where's Michelle going to find her home? And, you know, I've been single, I've been moving so much in the last 8 years. And I don't always mean to share so much in these readings. Like my ego just said, Michelle, stop talking about yourself and pull cards. These people don't want to hear about your story. But I'm here to share it because I think it's important for you guys to understand that it's okay if you don't know where you're at in your life. It's okay if you're in anxiety and depression. It's not always going to be this way. Your manifestations can come true. And I literally am living the life right now that I wanted to manifest years ago. I would say, I want to wake up. I want to go for my morning drive. I want to work out. I want to have a slow 3-hour start to my day to do what I want to do. And then I want to work. And then I want to be on my mission. And then I want to be helping people from my home. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm waking up each day. I'm doing what I love. I get to connect with people on Zoom. I get to post videos, post content. And I just matched my salary last week. Last month, I matched my teacher salary. But it was funny. My ego, the whole month was panicking, thinking, Michelle, you're not making enough. You need to post more. You need to, put out more content. But I was fine. I looked back and I have a little Google spreadsheet and I added up all the money and it exactly amounted to what I made teaching. And to think that I could match that amount, waking up kind of whenever I want, going for my morning drive, working out at my own leisure, and kind of creating this lifestyle for myself. I did it, but it took taking the leap and trusting myself and trusting the universe. So if you're wanting that life for you, if you want that freedom, to do what you love and you want to take the risk and just say, you know what, I'm not happy here. I want better for myself. You can do it. You can manifest it for yourself. You just have to believe in it and you have to trust yourself. And believe me, like there's still so much work that I have to do. There's just so many different things on my checklist that would make me happier in my life. Like I'm still a little frazzled and still a little like unstable, but it's a slow process. I'm building. It's like I'm putting brick by brick on my foundation of my life. And I know that this is coming for me. And I'm really, really proud of myself that I'm doing it. And I want all of you to have this same joy and have the same fulfillment when you wake up every single day and you love what you're doing. Because that's what you came here to do. You didn't come here to work at a job that you're miserable at and that you're literally physically sick at. And yeah, we didn't come here to stress financially either, but there's a balance. And sometimes there has to be this like leap. And then there's a little lull where you're not, it's not, the house isn't built yet. Your life isn't built yet. It takes time. Okay. Okay, so I just had to stop because somebody knocked on my door, as you guys heard, and it was my neighbor upstairs who was so kind. And yesterday it was raining and she came and knocked on my door and was like, hey, I know you have a Jeep and the top's off, and I know it probably can get rained on, but do you want it to get rained on? And I was like, no. And I was in the middle of a Zoom. So I quickly told my client, I'll be back, did my Jeep, whatever. So this morning I woke up and I didn't have this plan to give her a gift. So this story is going somewhere. Stay with me. So I just started grabbing flowers and putting them together. I grabbed my journals that I created and I wanted just to gift her a little gift and say, thank you for doing that. It was so kind. And we've never really talked before. She lives on the 3rd floor. And I got her my favorite soap that I like to wash my hands with. It's called Luscious Lemon. It's so delicious. It smells amazing. So I got her soap, I got her flowers, and I got her 2 journals for her and her husband or boyfriend. And I put them in a little basket, and something just called me to do it this morning. I had no intention of doing it. So I dropped it off. Well, she just knocked on my door, and guess what she told me? She was in tears and she was like, Michelle, I know I just met you yesterday. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm crying at your door, but her dad's funeral services were today. And that gift, she literally opened her door and was just like, oh my gosh, I thought it was one of my friends who did it. And she's like, I cannot believe it was you. And the flowers, they just felt like they were flowers from my dad. And I told her, I was like, I'm a messenger. And I kind of showed her, I walked her into my apartment and showed her the cards, and I showed her what I do for a living. And we were both in tears. I was tearing up, but she was definitely way more emotional because today's a sensitive day for her. But he passed 2 years ago during COVID, and they couldn't do anything for him at the time. And he passed from COVID. So they were celebrating today, and it was a really sad day. And she's been through so much. We just had this awesome heart to heart. I literally have been gone for 30 minutes from the computer. So I'm back now to finish this reading, but what a beautiful moment. Do you see how the universe moves us? I had no intention of doing that gift for her this morning, but something jumped into my body and I just started doing it. I was like, why am I giving her a gift for her just telling me that it was raining? She didn't buy me anything. She didn't do anything, but I just felt the urge to nurture her and to thank her so much for being so kind to let me know about my Jeep. And I believe her dad jumped into my body and was like, Michelle, you need to go nurture my daughter because she's having a really tough day. And it was perfect. And this is how we are always being taken care of. The universe has our back, and it's always bringing us exactly what we need when we need it. So she needed those flowers today and that cute little gift, and she got it. So trusting, back to our reading, trusting that everything is always happening in divine timing. We are always being used for good, and people are always going to be giving us exactly what we need. And during these tower moments, we don't have to have fear. That moment right there That happened during me filming this reading so that I could share it. The universe was like, we're going to make this happen so that Michelle will share this, so more people start to have faith and start to trust in the other side, that we are protected no matter what is happening in our lives. We have people on the other side that are maneuvering things for us to bring us our desires. And I was supposed to be somewhere else right now, not doing this reading. I was supposed to be working today and I'm not. So I even had a moment right before I hopped back on the computer to say, oh my gosh, like I wasn't even meant to be home today. And that interaction just happened and she really needed it. And I needed it too. I was able to share about my daughter and my dad passing. So let's see what I'm being guided to use the angel deck now. Indigo Angel by Doreen Virtue. Let's see what angel cards come through now that I'm talking about our angels and our guides. Allow love. So this is somebody who is resisting love in their life. You are worthy of being loved. You just have to let it in. So if you want to have all of your desires met, you have to be willing to literally unlock the door of your heart and open it. Don't be so fearful about getting hurt. And I know that's easier said than done because I struggle with that myself. As soon as I meet somebody and start to catch feelings, I immediately start to assign them to somebody else. I'm like, you'd be happier with them. Like, don't pick me. But yeah, I try to get them to pick me, but then I'm quickly trying to like push them away. So it's like this push-pull energy. I show interest, but then I'm scared that what if they actually do pick me? And then what if it doesn't last? Where I just have to let go of all of that and just let the person decide on their own. I will pour my heart out. And by pouring my heart out, I literally hand my heart to this person and say, hey, this is how I feel. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I cannot go to my grave knowing that you might not know this. And I have to say it. And I've done that actually like my whole life. I've always been very, very open. And sometimes it's not reciprocated and then I know it's not meant to be, but I find out sooner so that I can move on and I don't waste my energy waiting or thinking that something's going to happen. But I also trust that the universe will make it happen if it's meant to be, right? So putting and allowing the love in is huge. You have to be able to open your heart, express yourself, and just say, fuck it. I'm just going to say it. I don't know if it's going to be received. If it's not received, at least I know. At least the person knows, and now I can move on with my life. Okay, I'm being guided to use a Sex Magic Tarot now. So now that we're talking about allowing love in, that's too many. This is my favorite deck to shuffle, by the way. It just moves so smoothly through my hands. Oh, I love this one, 9 of Wands. She's sitting on his lap. I've gotten this before. It's like he's been on a long journey and he's back. They've been separated for a little bit and he's like, oh, it feels so good just to have you on my lap again, to feel your arms on my neck and on my chest and to be looking you in the eyes. Wands represent passion and fire. So it's like this, he's irresistible to her and she's irresistible to him and they can't get any closer. I think he's even touching her mouth. He just loves her lips so much. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, and I just heard this is after the tower moment. He just got done or she just got done with their tower moment, the destruction in their lives, and they're needing to be nurtured. They're needing to be held. Because when they're in this space, they feel like they're at home. It's like they don't even need a structured home. They just have each other and they feel safe and grounded in this space. So every time they come back together, it's like, this is where I belong. I'm sorry I've been gone. I'm sorry I've been away. And he looks exhausted to me. He looks tired and she looks replenished. So I don't know how that relates to your connection, whoever's watching this. He also looks shocked. He's almost like in awe of her. Like, how could he be so lucky to have you? And that's for all of you beautiful souls out there. Yeah, wow, I got this card yesterday and it's in reverse. So, yep, they broke up. The partnership ended. It's the Seven of Swords. So there was an ending of something and then a moving on to a new relationship. Or for some people, this could be maybe there was discord and they're finally back together. There was a separation and now they're back. Okay, what's next? We're going to use my deck, the Ever Unfolding Heart. What final messages for this reading? What are the final messages we need to wrap this up? Somebody's going through a rebirth. They're having clarity about their life. They had a tower moment. They are unfolding all the different layers. They're realizing that life is happening for them, not to them. They're getting all their needs met and their manifestations are arriving after that tower moment. And they're finally coming home and allowing the love in. And they've trusted the process the entire time. All right, one final message, please. Then I'm gonna go shower because my hair is so gross. Butterfly, you are going through a transformation. Rest, self-care, patience are needed. This is a time of non-action. So now that you've just been through this tower moment, it's complete transformation. So you're feeling the squeeze. Anytime I get the butterfly, I think about the caterpillar kind of like coming out of the chrysalis and just expanding its wings. But right before they come out, it's got to be uncomfortable and tight and they got to feel weird, right? It's this squeeze moment. You're going through that transformation. You're calling in a better life for yourself. And when you call in better things, you have to be willing to break out of the old. So that's a perfect card to end this reading. It's a complete transformation of your life. Remember, we have to break down to rebuild. It's a rebirth. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Sorry for the little break. I don't remember what I was saying in my last sentence before I hit pause on the camera. So I'm sorry if it was choppy. I'm gonna have to watch it back and see if it's okay to post still, but thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for more readings, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.